Well, it's finishing Friday, so I thought I'd just come into the studio and pop in and do some work and just hang out. So welcome. My phone's not working real good right now for some reason. Oh, there we go. So we did this Virginia box yesterday. It was fun. We had a co-host type of a situation with paintings by Randall. There he is. Hey, man. And so it was fun. We just kind of hung out and painted together like if we were in an actual studio. So that was neat. But he was working on a canvas and I was working on a box. So I just wanted to show you the progress of this box right now. And then I'm just going to finish some of my work and maybe start something oceany. I'm just real itching to do some ocean. So you can tell because I put a little ocean in here. But there's the Virginia box so far. Hey. Yeah, I just decided to jump on and do some finishing work, finishing Friday and playing some paint. But I like the way this one's turning out. And then I started on this one just off by myself, and it's basically, I misted the box with water after I had gessoed it and then put unicorn spit on it. And it still turned out really nice. I wanted it slightly muted, and that's what happens when you mix your gesso in with your unicorn spit, in case you didn't know. It's a cool combination. And then that is a stencil, and it turned out just fine. And this isn't the right stencil, but you'll get the idea. So I took my stencil and then I took an adhesive spray and I just spritzed it on the back and then laid that down on top of the wet unicorn spit. And then I just went ahead and blotted whatever color I wanted, white, and all the other colors just kind of popped up through it again slightly. So that was nice. So anyway, I need to continue to work on this because it's rather boring still and I want it something, just not sure what. But this is a good thing. I got this at the Dollar Tree, little adhesive spray. And I really think it allowed the unicorn spit to really kind of gum into it a little bit. So I like the way that turned out. And then this is the one that we were doing on the branch and floral. I haven't done anything else with that. So there's a lot of little things I want to do, but I'm just not in the mood for florals. I've kind of had it. Had it with the florals. But I am in the mood for water. So, oh, Shannon, your Dollar Tree is cooler than mine. Randall, no, I'm pretty satisfied with the outside of the Virginia box. That's what it looks like. So I'm leaving it like that. And then more than likely we'll do water on the inside, but I added some more relief work on that lettering. So it's pretty thick. I'm letting it dry. Alright, so you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to finish my boxes. I'm not going to put hardware on. I'm going to get a board or a canvas and I'm just going to play in unicorn spit or paint or whatever and do something watery because I'm feeling like that. It's either that or I'm going to end up doing something like hot glue mushrooms on a canvas. I don't know. So I wanted to mention this. I've got these cheaper canvases that I just like to play on because even the cheap canvases, as long as they're tight enough, they're great if you're going to resin. So if it's not tight and you do want to finish this piece with resin, flip it upside down and put a little bit of resin in the back. One artist, I can't remember who it was, I wish I could, but she puts a mix of black and silver glitter in, not a lot, but you know, in resin, and does all of her canvases like that. And that way, if she is going to resin over the top, or even if she's not, it's just really firm. And I thought that was a very cool idea. I don't want to do all of mine, but that's a good thing to do if the canvas is just a little loose and you've got resin. And it was a very cool look in the back. I have to say, it was a win-win all the way around, except maybe cost. So kudos to that artist out there. But anyway, this was a set of different size canvases I got from Amazon, and it's through Magic Fly, I think. And you'll see them because they have a stack of these little wire things off to the side that they send with you. And the holes are already drilled. They're drilled there and there, so you could have it horizontal or vertical. And it's a great display. You know, because like when I store my canvases before I sell them and I'm making stock, I don't want to put hangers and stuff like that because I want to be able to stack them against back to back. You know what I'm saying? With the thing in glassine or wax paper or whatever in between. So I don't put the hardware on. So this is perfect because I want to come and demonstrate something or have an art fair somewhere or something like that. Just throw one of those in there and set it up. It's just fabulous. And anyway, so that's my tip for the day. Go check that out because it was interesting. So I'm gonna take this one. It just pulls right out. Isn't that amazing, Shannon? Thank you, Randall. Oh, thanks for the florals. So that's just my gesso. I'm just gonna throw it over with, brush over it with a fan brush. Squiggly it in. I'm surprised you're here, Shannon. I figured, well, kids are out of school. You're probably doing something or trying to set up the pool or whatever. But then I thought, well, maybe Michaela could jump on if she's bored already for being out of school and away from her friends. But then I remember it was like, as soon as you're out of school, you don't want to do anything but just lay in bed. Let me see. This unicorn spit is a gel stain if you're not familiar with it. It comes in sparkles, metallics now that you can get through Michael's, and then regular, and it's scented jasmine or lemongrass. It's non-toxic. It does stain. It is a stain. It has no polymers like acrylic does, but it's very vibrant. You can mix it in with other mediums. You can mix it into your resin if it's less than 10%. It's just a fabulous, fun thing. Funny? Well, Randall, that live together yesterday was fun. I watched the video all the way through. And yeah, you do talk to yourself, huh? I do too. I'm just teasing. You had to do something. You didn't get your music. I knew that was going to be hard. Huh, this one's not working. Oh, I've never opened it. Looks like it's going to be another purple one, people. Let's add some hideous yellow, because that'll make some browns. I'm sorry, but this is the only complaint I have on their unicorn spit. I just don't... Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not. And just as a yellow itself, I'm looking for something a little different. I don't even know what, so I hope they keep messing with with their stuff. They're always coming up with very cool colors, but the yellow and one of their greens is probably somebody else's favorite though. You know, that's how it is with art. Okay, so I'm just taking the edge of my fan brush and going down through these colors. I don't care about wiping it off in between right now because I'm just kind of going over the top one time. And then I dip it back into the water so it's still nice and wet and get most of those colors out of the fan. And just run it across again. I'm gonna go the other way with black. There's no rhyme or reason, it's just madness. The unicorn spit will make really interesting flows of colors. Just never know, it acts very different, more like an alcohol ink, I think, than a paint. I already thought if we get to end up going to North Carolina, I'm going to have to take my devices so I can stream from down there. That would be fun. We've got a lot of work to do around here too, so we may not go anywhere. That is likely, and that's fine too. It still feels like vacation. Okay, so if you... I'm looking at it going, mushroom or water, mushroom or water. Water. I don't know. Just adding white, and it's picking up all the different colors that we put down first. I'm just staring at it, trying to decide. Oh, thank you very much, Nazar. Trying to decide. Shannon, I feel you, Shannon. You're okay. I gotta brush hair or something right in the middle of my blue. So I'm going to add just a bit of blue on my brush. It's not the sparkle. And I'm tapping it in just at the edge, where I want a mountain or whatever. Mostly, I'm just trying to block in some colors, figure out where I want things. cloud, you guys. It's pouring down rain out there now. Put a little black right down underneath that mountain. Depending on how far back it is in your mind is whether it's a mountain or a little hill. And I'm still not sure, so I'm just tapping along. I'm going to add a little bit of some other color. I'm going to put that yellow in there. I may apologize to Unicorn Spit for saying the yellow is ugly, but still, I would like to see a different one. Because sometimes that yellow does a weird thing and it's very cool. So I see where they're going with it. I'd like to know how they came up with it. I'd like to hear that story. Apparently she came up with it in her kitchen. God bless her. Okay, so I've just been tapping along. And the yellow is kind of a cool thing. It's, you know, mixing it, making it greenish gray. But I don't know if I want that green, but I think I do. I want to put a little sparkle green on the top of that hill. I'm not going for realistic, apparently. I'm just going. I'm going to take the edge of my brush. I don't know how to even say it. Like that. Like if you were going to stab the canvas, but not this way, and then angle it. Just angle it. And then you can get nice little grassy things just by tapping at an angle. So apparently this is close enough you can see grass. So now we know, or at least bushes or something. You can see greenery. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That's just tapping with the fan brush at different angles. It's fun. It's a fun experiment. Even if you're not on a canvas, just do it on a piece of paper or wax paper or something, parchment paper maybe. It's fun. So I'm thinking I'd like to see where the water's going to end. You know what that means. I really do. Look at the, see, this is why I love Unicorn Spit and all who worked on the product. Because the white just lets all of those colors come through. I don't know. I hope you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's not just white. It's pink and yellow and purple, and it's still that white foam in your head. So how cool is that? It probably looks better where I'm sitting. Big wave crashing. That's not my mood, man. You hear the music? It's That's my mood. Can you tell? Now I can come back in here in 5 minutes and my mood will be big wave crashing, you know. But as it stands now, nope, nope, nope. So I'm going to take a different style of a brush, and I don't want to ruin it. Mess it up too bad. But I want a little bit of a separation between the water, what it looks like, and the beach. Maybe I don't. Let me look at it again. Yeah, I do. So I want to pick a color for sand, but I don't want it browns and all that. I'm going to go with the purple, shiny. Little bottle cap palettes, fabulous. So somehow I ended up with 2 shiny purples. No wonder I didn't open that one up yet. Okay. And some blue. And for this first pass, right next to my water, I'm adding a little bit of black. More black. That shiny is not very pigmented, saturated. So I shook it up as much as I could the other day, just trying to see. And it's just really thin, which is fine because, you know, you don't want it to look juvenile, like lots of glitter or something like that. You do want the iridescence. So it's nice when you're using it with the other unicorn spit. So it picks up the saturation of the regular spit. Not thrilled with how that brush responded, so I know enough now that when I'm trying to do something and it's not working, try the brush first. Change the brush. Because you will be amazed at the difference you can get with just different brushes. And keep going until you find one that seems to work. So as I'm running my brush back and forth, what I'm looking for is anything that pops up that I could go with it in my head. So what popped up is that pink little thing right there. So I could go with that and think moon shining through and put a moon in there. Or I could just keep going with a little bit more pinks, or I could just take it out if I didn't like it. And I'm not sure, I'm just going to leave it alone because I'm not sure what I want to do with it. So just go back to the bottom again with the biggest fan brush in the world that I have. And I just want to see what happens if I tap along with white. The more you put on, it seems the easier it gets at sometimes. And then there's a point where it's like, oops, now you're too far. And that's the hard part for me still after 30 years. Sorry, slow learner. Maybe you'll be faster. If it gets to the point where, you know what, I don't like what I just did and I can't get back, this is so wet, you just go over it with a fan brush again and just keep going. You just keep going. It'll be fine. I really, rather than have the wave crashing and breaking right there, I really rather just kind of make you feel like you're almost still in the water, not at the beach, is the feeling I'm getting from this. So I'm just going to take that out. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. That's normal for me. Mud. Could be mud. Could be mud so easy. But that's all right, so I can wipe it off. Kind of tired of it being all one monotone looking color. I guess that's not monotone, that would be the one sound, huh? Monochrome, is it? So let's just see what happens. I don't know if I should do the big fan brush or the little fan brush, but let's try the littles. That's fun. Just like lost in space right there. Got a planet and it's staying. I don't have to make things real. It may change, but anyway, so that's what happened there, just to see. This is where things take off. It's like, ooh. Take off and there it goes. But you know, I kind of like this whole feeling. I'm just going to keep going with it. This could be a very bizarre thing, or it can end up normal. Who cares? Oh, so you're painting? Oh, and Shannon's cleaning. Well, good. On both counts. I took all day to clean out a chest of drawers. All my clothes, because it's like I put chores away nice and neat. Everybody's everything nice and neat. And when it comes to mine, I'm like, by that time I'm open the door, slam it in. It was horrible. Seriously, hours of just reorganizing everything. I dumped everything out and onto the bed and started folding. And it's just, it feels so good, that one thing. It'll stay like that for a little while, maybe a couple weeks. Let's just see if we can just smash that in. Give it a little twist maybe. Get some of those colors mixed in, see what happens. Ooh, that didn't work. It's kind of neat. I'll show you. It's kind of like a flower in the middle of a moon or something, I don't know. Didn't work. Seriously, just plain in paint here. You're probably not going to learn a thing. I just hope you're having a beautiful day, everybody. I hope you are living in the present, not thinking back in the past, not concerned about the future, just enjoying this one moment right now where everything is perfect. Mama Dawn, when I paint, that's how I feel. I need some of your soft music. Exactly. Yep. When I clean, it's a different story. Put that jam music on. Let's do this. But when I paint, just peace. It's actually going to end up to be pretty cool, I think. So it was a happy accident. Some black. Welcome everybody. We're just hanging out, listening to some peaceful music. This is just a nail design brush, not brush, daughter tool. It works really well in unicorn spit. And you can get them everywhere. Very inexpensive. Especially when your unicorn spit is really wet and you're trying to do a fine thing and you don't want to pick up what's underneath. This is a good answer. Line, and then this is the one with just the touches of white as it goes along. Just every once in a while, just wipe your dotting tool off on a dry cloth. This is so peaceful. I can see why, like, I've gone to different people's lives. I love watching artists of any sort, you know, sculpting, wood burning, whatever it is. Love watching them. And at one point I stopped at like more of a craft thingy and I saw what they were doing. I'm gonna switch gloves, I had a shot. And it was something like painting with diamonds, you know how you just kind of glue the diamonds down, and I was like, oh my word, one after the other. I felt like that when I was trying to put rhinestones into the resin dominoes that I had made. I thought, will it ever end? Will the dots ever stop? But I'm doing the same thing really here, just one after the other, dip and dip, dip and dip, and it's so soothing, you know? So to each their own, go for it, you guys. Find something that you just can get into and just relax, even if it's for 5 minutes, because it's so important. It really is. And then, you know, I really think you're just a happier person. And then you can be, you know, you can be that light to someone else who's kind of burdened. Just the idea of some ripply waves here and there would be nice, I'm thinking. You know, it's tempting sometimes to just keep highlighting and highlighting, but then what happens, I've found, is if everything's highlighted, then nothing is. So it's a hard place for me to stop on those. I have a difficult time with that part. It's just because I think, you know, every piece of art is so different, so you can learn the principle. You know, don't overwork something, stuff like that. But as far as, you know, every piece is so different that the same technique won't always work, you know, because you're either on a different substrate, or you're working with a different medium, or different tools, or it's just your mood. Lots of different variables, which is what makes the painting exciting too, because it's like a puzzle, trying to figure it out as you go. Adding a little bit more white, just breaking a little wave, and just by taking the tip and going at the top and just kind of arching it down and over. This is a little wave, it's kind of hard to show you, but something like that. Can you see it? I don't know if you saw it or not. I don't know which side I showed you. This is called a hoof brush. See how round it is and flat? It's actually got a little angle. It looks like a little horse hoof. And they make them on all different sizes. So those are kind of cool. I don't use them very often, but I do like that little edge. Some more white into this moon. My hoof brush, see how that works. I don't know what it's called. I'm pretty sure that's it, but the more I say it, the more I doubt myself. Check it out. Somebody tell me if that's true. Hey, Texas. Yes, you can use that tool, Randall. Thanks, Shannon. It would be great for flowers. All right, a little bit more white on the moon. So I laid just a little bit of the pink down in there. And I know that when you're working with the unicorn spit, as soon as you touch your brush in water, even if it's dry, as soon as you touch a damp brush to it, it reactivates. But it still gives you time to play with that top layer. Say, what I'm trying to say is, if this is very wet, which it is with unicorn spit, and I want to keep working with it without damaging the base, but I don't want to seal it yet, I usually grab my heat gun and hit it with that and just dry it up just enough where you can start adding quickly a few more colors onto it without messing with the base colors. So it's going to reactivate. There's ways to get around it. You just have to play with it for a while and see how long it takes before it reactivates and starts blending, you know. So it's fun. It's a puzzle. It's a mystery to me. Probably end up doing something that I regret, but it's a little too mellow right now. So just going to add a few more dots of the dark pink onto my moon. And then I'm going to add black. Adding that black in with the base that's white gesso, and the other white that I have in there, it's turned to gray in most of the places that I'm tapping. The ones I'm not tapping is staying quite black, so I'll have to tap a little bit of that. I always try and make my moon a little smaller than I want it, because by the time I'm done adding the different colors and tapping, my moon is like huge. So if you start small, you have room to keep kind of, oh, I gotta make this even, oh no, I gotta make this more even. So the beautiful thing about the moon, though, is it has so many different phases, you know. So there's lots of different shapes and colors that can happen in the moon because of clouds and all that. So don't worry if it's not like totally perfect, whatever, it's not, doesn't matter. But so there's the different color that I added, and I'm glad I did. It just makes it a little more interesting to me. I'll probably tap down that super black a little bit more, but for right now. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna just call it, because it's all wet now and I'm happy. I got to play in some water painting there, so that's awesome.